Marie, take it away.
Thank you. And my name is Marie Pendy. I reside in the state of Virginia in the USA, close to Washington, D.C. Welcome to the weekly Dream Team webinar, where you come and get fed, nourished with great words, great concepts that you take home, and it nourishes you, carry you on through the rest of the week, and you're ready for the next week and the next week and the next week, because we do have great speakers with excellent mindset. Welcome to this Dream Team webinar. We have called, my friend Alfred and I have called on everybody. If we missed your name, you're welcome with open arms, and let's shout out to you and pass it over to Dr. Patience Ajongwen or the next person.
Thank you, Sister Marie. Thank you, Brother Alfred, for always welcoming us so we can calm our nerves and feel at home, because this is a family place. We really appreciate all of you coming up, especially our guest of honor today. Welcome to the Dream Team webinar. And I will not waste time to talk a lot, but we always start with our signature tune, because not because we love the voice, also because it's always written with some unspoken updates. I will really stress that you all read the message. Today is the story of all media, what they have done, what they're doing. That story of what is going to be depicted in our We Need to Win It signature tune, which was gifted to us by our own sister, yes, Sister Lerato, the woman with the voice that touches the heart. And Dr. Derek, we thank you for all you do. I know you're born ready. If you don't mind, can you show us what we have today for our non-verbal update? Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Derek.
Gotcha. Nice, man. That's it. Looks nice. And I'll try that.
Well, we say we implant to say.
You don't mind?
Yeah, around 10 and a half.
Your next stop is ONPASSIVE.
And clear the closing doors, please.
Thank you, Dr. Derek, for that wonderful video. As you can see on the video, it was the story of all media, the work and our marketing department, what they have been doing, right? You will see how they use the laser display to do adverts on the Bush Khalifa. Those adverts were produced and carried out by our marketing department. We saw that ONPASSIVE have the station that was previously Al Safar, which is station 29, the very key station on the red line. We have acquired the naming right for the next 10 years. We also saw that the Emirates Society of Social and Development awarded ONPASSIVE a certificate of thanks and appreciation. We also showed that the old media attended the quarter century theater day, open day for that. Also, the marketing team launched 4 interface of our website, and Professor Souza attended the symposium for the International Day of Education, where she discussed about Go Academy. So ONPASSIVE marketing campaign is revolutionary successful. We should be very excited. We're in very, very sweet spot. I know people a little bit don't understand, but trust the system. And today, I will not waste your time. I'm going to call on our next team, the moderator team that makes this meeting work in the background quietly, to welcome our viewers on YouTube. Thank you for showing up as well. We are live on YouTube today. So over to you, Queen Mama McCormick, my sister. I call her Mama McCormick. If you can take it over and run the show. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Sister Patience, and thank you for that lovely music and background with all the images. We are so blessed and honored to be here today, and we thank everybody who has joined us, especially those who are joining on YouTube. We appreciate you, and we're going to continue from where our sister just left it, with putting ourselves in the right frame of mind as we start today's webinar. And we know that if we do not put ourselves in the right frame of mind, our meeting is not quite the way we would like it to be. We heard the song "In It to Win It" by one of our very own global ambassadors in the name of Sister Lerato Shadare. I'm going to call on her to say the word. The voice speaks for itself. She's going to empower us so we can be prepared to listen to our next speaker.
Sis, how? Sis, can
Yes,
you hear me?
good to you.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I asked you if you were
Absolutely,
saying.
absolutely. It's a wonderful day, especially because I have to listen to you first before I prepare myself to listen to our brother. Thank you.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Patience. Thank you, Sister Mani, Brother Alfred, everybody that is here. Thank you for being here. It's just, always say that it's a blessing to be here. It's not just by my own wisdom or my own know-how that I'm here. It's by the grace of God. So I'm really, really grateful for life and just a chance to do things better. Every day is a chance for me to be better, to do things better, to love well, all of those beautiful things, just edification into my life. And I'm just glad to be here and to share this with you. I love my family here. I always tell you that I'm so in love with ONPASSIVE. I'm in love with the spirit. I'm in love with everybody that is here. And today I'm looking forward to hear from my brother Michael. It's always a pleasure to talk to him. His mind is amazing. And yeah, I'll tell him when I start talking. By the way, so it's just it's been a wonderful journey. I mean, we've talked about so many things, and we've touched on many subjects. And the last few weeks it has been about peace and love, right? And this time we're just concentrating mainly on love. And we talked about the attributes of love to say, if we're gonna be prosperous, our prosperity will not be complete if we are not doing it in the spirit of love and goodwill, right? So prosperity is not complete without love and goodwill. And we said that the greatest success power is the power of love. Love is the greatest power there is in the entire universe, right? And if we understand, we have all of us have our own definition of who God is, but for me, God is love. And so when I speak about the spirit of love, I'm talking about the spirit that created everything, that holds everything in its place. So it's still the greatest power. You can do so much. You can melt so many, if there are wars and everything, if we treated everything or we cultivated the spirit of love and we did everything in love, we wouldn't even have wars because we would understand that we are one. We are one, we are not separate. And so anything that we do to the other, we actually do to ourselves. So if we had that understanding from onset to understand that love is the greatest power, many things wouldn't have happened that happened. But I guess, things have to happen in order for us to live, right? And to grow and to evolve. So we're concentrating on love, and I talked about the attributes of love the last time, and we spoke about how to cultivate those attributes and how to just be in the wavelength agreeing with good. And because we are agreeing with good and we want to be in that vibration of prosperity, vibration of abundance, vibration of good and divine good for everyone, like everything good, love is part of it, and love is actually the power above everything else, right? So we cannot say that we are wealthy or we are prosperous when we're actually not operating in the spirit of love. And I spoke about what the attributes of love that all of us, we have to sit with ourselves and start examining ourselves and asking ourselves, are we actually walking in the spirit of love? Are we living in the spirit of love, right? And I said, the spirit of love is long-suffering, right? You love difficult people without being difficult yourself. I'm not saying you're putting yourself in as a martyr and become a doormat. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you are in the spirit of love, even if somebody comes with their negativity or whatever, you see beyond the negativity and see the divine in them, and just move along, right? So you love difficult people without being difficult yourself. We talked about kindness. We said that mercy that you have for the other, the merciful heart to see the person, to see beyond the facade of anger, everything else that we put as a mask, maybe sometimes as a coping mechanism or as a wall. We go through our experiences in life. In life, you can take things that actually are not yours in life and carry so many things that are not actually ourselves. And then those are the things that we put in the forefront when we confront certain situations in our lives. And those things are actually not us, because in the purest form of whom we are, we came from love. We are love because the kingdom of God is inside of all of us, right? So, but if we are now in that consciousness, you realize that All these other things are not us. They're together with ego. It's not really us, right? So we talked about kindness, that we do everything in kindness, right? We spoke about we don't resent others, right, for their possessions or their positions, right? We do not resent people for their possessions or their positions, right? We said we build others up rather than we don't self-promote ourselves, but we build other people up. We don't promote ourselves, we build other people up. And then through building other people up, everything that we'll do, we speak for ourselves. We don't need to self-advertise. We just love people. That's what we do. We don't seek our own, right? We put the interest of others before our own. We don't just do things with those ulterior motives, like if I give this, it's gonna happen. No, we just do it because it's the thing to do, because we are operating in the spirit of love, right? We are not easily provoked. Oh my gosh, this is the one that I was sitting there, I was like, there's so many people that for them, just they're triggered by anything. I was looking at the internet the last time, some of the days, and I was just reading comments. There are people that are triggered by any and everything. Like offense is their thing. They wake up, they choose violence. Like for them, offense is the thing. Right? And I know that the people that are here, we're not doing that. We self-examine and we don't just get triggered by every and anything, right? We operate in the spirit of calmness, right? And we don't think evil. We do not hold grudges and walk in unforgiveness. That was the last thing that we talked about last week, to say unforgiveness is the greatest poison. That it actually, it's like you're eating poison hoping it will kill the next person, but you're actually poisoning yourself. That's the worst thing that you can actually do for yourself. Your immune system, your mental capacity. Unforgiveness is the worst thing ever. So you release things. I mean, of course, we get offended in everything. I mean, in life we will get offended by certain things, but you do not hold on to stuff. You see it for what it is. You go through emotions. You are annoyed, but you don't hold on to it too long. You let it go and you forgive people, right? And we forgive ourselves as well, right? So those are the things. And in everything that I mentioned, it's also, we're talking about ourselves, because we have to learn to love ourselves. We cannot love the other when we don't act that, when we don't love ourselves. We really have to do that. We have to love ourselves, and all this, that be kind to ourselves, being forgiving to ourselves, all these things, because then it starts changing our vibration. Whatever that now because we cannot attract what we are not, guys. If you're not in peace, you're not in love, you cannot attract wealth or attract well-being when you yourself are not centered, right? We're not talking about money. We're talking about prosperity, overall prosperity, mental, physically, and spiritually. Overall prosperity. So you cannot attract what you want. You attract who you are. So all these things, all these attributes go together with well-being and prosperity, right? So I will just continue with two more or three more, just to the attributes of love. And it says that love does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, right? So it means that love acts with honesty and integrity. Honesty and integrity. Right? Those are the things where you have to be first. There's some people, or sometimes we're not even honest with ourselves. When we talk about honesty and integrity, just integrity, just start with yourself. It's like, am I honest with myself? When I'm sitting here and can I sit with myself and say, yes, I was wrong? Or, you know what, I didn't act in the right way. Can I actually say sorry? There are people that cannot even say sorry. They know they didn't act well or nice, they cannot even say sorry. They'll find every other excuse but say sorry, right? So that thing where you can actually sit with yourself, with honesty with yourself, so you can be honest to the next person. And integrity. Integrity. This is what Mr. Ash Mufareh talks about all the time. I was listening to one of the webinars where he was talking about self-worth, and he talked about integrity. He said, we can do business anyhow, but we choose to do it with integrity, and it has to be ethical. It's a choice. It's a choice, and you see it. You see the fruit, because you see his heart through or bless. You see his heart through so many things. For me personally, I was not attracted. Of course, we need money. All of us need money. But the first thing, the major thing that attracted me to ONPASSIVE was Mr. Ash's heart, right? How he talks, that everything about when he says certain things. I sit there and I listen. I'm like, wow, that's the first thing that attracted me, because the thing is, we all need money, but how we get it? How do we get that money? Are we getting it? Are we getting it by robbing everybody else and stabbing people and in order for us to get? Oh, are we doing it with integrity? Are we doing it ethically? Right? And that's what grabbed my attention. I was like, wow, yes, all of us need money, but how we get it is very important. The spirit behind it, because I don't know if you know, but money is very spiritual, right? The spirit behind it will help you sustain whatever that you're doing. It will help you because then it's energy, right? So that thing that we have to, everything has to be done with integrity and honesty, even with ourselves, with our own lives, right? So the next one is the next attribute is love bears all things. Love bears all things, like that, right? It says it demonstrates patience and understanding with the faults of others. I'll repeat it again. It demonstrates patience and understanding with the faults of others. Guys, it's just, yeah, that's right. Just the patience with the faults of others and understanding that they are also growing. And that patience to love people through everything, to love them through everything, through their development, through their growth, and being patient, right? Whew, yeah. And the last one is that love endures all things. It does not give up on anyone. You do not give up on anyone, right? It says love endures. It does not give up on anyone. I said as I was preparing this, I was just sitting with this thing. Sometimes I would just leave it alone because it was like a mirror to me. Because it's easy to say to somebody, "Oh, I love you, I love." We use that word very easily and so freely, but not really. Not all of us really act or sit with the meaning of what that word really means to love. Right? We don't sit with that word and actually sit with it and say, what does it really mean to love? Because if you love, it's not going to be about yourself. It's never, ever, ever going to be about yourself. You're going to have to break through so many walls. It's never going to be about yourself. So it's just to sit with it and just self-reflect and say, okay, fine. If I'm going to be whole and be a prosperous somebody or be a prosperous being and live my life well, these are the things that I'm going to have to sit with and meditate on and ask myself. I'm going to start having to ask myself questions, right? That means you will have to stop being too busy for yourself, because many people don't even sit with themselves. It's hard to sit with oneself because we get scared when you start evaluating your own thoughts or evaluating certain things. You get scared or you get intimidated. And I was talking to one of my friends. I'm like, some people don't even know themselves well enough to love themselves well. They don't sit with themselves long enough to understand themselves, to love themselves, to know themselves, so that they can make conscious choices as well. Because when you self-knowledge and when you sit with yourself and you understand yourself and you know yourself, then the choices that you make, right, will be different. Will be very much different. So just self-reflection, and that's what we've been talking about. To say we have to grow by all means. If we're gonna make an impact and pull everybody up with us, not just anyhow, but powerfully, then we're gonna have to be really, really, really intentional with ourselves as well. As we grow, self-growth, we grow not only financially, we're gonna have to grow also spiritually and mentally. Because then the energy is different. The energy of everything that we're doing will be different. And we're going to be creating waves throughout the entire universe. Those acts will be changing everything, will be changing atmospheres. I told you the last time that, we're like an altar. We carry the presence of peace of God is in us. We carry those things with us when we go somewhere. So if you're that person that carries the presence of God, when you give, your giving will be different than every other giving. Right? Because it comes with that peace, with that love, with that growth, with everything, because that supports good. Right? So it will be a different kind of giving. You'll be changing the generations. So the spirit behind it will be different. So we owe it to ourselves to grow, to question ourselves, to question our motives, to question the spirit behind of everything that we do, so that we can live powerfully and we can love well, guys. Above everything else, for me personally, what I think we're here for is to love well. So everything else, if we build it on that, on the foundation of love, then it's even much more powerful, right? So I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to share with you. And the one last thing that I want to say is, like, it's easy to give without loving, but it's not possible to love without giving of ourselves and everything, right? So I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to share with you. I'm grateful, for you to give me your time and to give me your ears and for us to grow together. To be being here for me is really, really powerful. So I'm so glad. And if somebody didn't tell you that they love you today, I just want to tell you that I love you, love you, love you, love you. If there's nothing that you take with you this week, is that, are you loving well? Please ask yourself those questions. Are you loving well? Are you loving intentionally? Is the love that you're operating in healing? Is it safe? When people are around you, they feel safe because of how you love, right? Or even yourself. Are you safe with yourself, right? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves, because then as we grow and we become these powerful beings that we are, right? Then whatever our impact will be felt, it will ripple. It will be felt even much, much, much more. So thank you so much for your time. I love you.
We love you too, Queen Sister Lerato. We love you. Wow, all those attributes of love that you mentioned. I must say this, the one of honesty and integrity. I will go with that one. I cannot justify why, but I know that is how I live by honesty and integrity. And I know that most of us here try to do that and all the other attributes that we did mention. And with that love that we have received, can you also consider giving it to yourself, to your fellow global ambassador, to your neighbor, to your friends, your peers, because it has to be shared and not just something that you do, but you start within yourself. Thank you so much, Sister Lerato. Very much appreciate it. I just want to let us know, our viewers know, that there's a slight change. Normally, I would introduce our guest speaker now, but we're switching it around. We're going to call on team updates, Dr. Derek and his team, to go ahead and do the updates so that there's an easier flow. After our speaker speaks, we'll just continue with questions and discussions. So at this stage, Dr. Derek and the updates team, we appreciate you. We're looking forward to knowing what is trendy in ONPASSIVE. So we're passing this over to you so you can share that for us. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Nice. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our brand ambassadors, global ambassadors, users, affiliates, whatever you might call yourself. We thank you for making it Dream Team on this your busy Sunday. Thank you very much. It's a different position. I can't say anything about the speaker, but anyway, thank you very much, Queen Lerato Shadare. And if that means another lunch, remember we're meeting at the View in Manhattan. All right, and I get to understand that there's a highway in Germany that you can go any speed, and that is where I will test out my car. All right, so oh my, stop it, stop it. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Lerato. That is love, love. Nothing happens without love from God. Nothing happens because God is love. Thank you very much, Lerato. Really appreciate it. Cement that in my mind a lot more. Queen Kanla, are you in the house? Queen Kanla.
Yes, Dr.
All right. Okay, say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Derek.
Greetings to all on Perseverance. Greetings to all listening and watching on YouTube. We are always glad and honored to have you join every Sunday. My name is Kanla Rachel Gay. I will be joining Dr. Derek and the rest of the updates team for the updates of today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Kanla. Just to remind all of us that our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frighten us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to? That is what we are to think about. Who are we not to be brilliant, not to be fabulous, not to be talented? Because God put that in all of us, the ability. Remember, we were created in His character, in His image. The image of Him created He, male and female. Let us understand that God made a brilliant person, a loving person, and I am sticking to that. Thank you very much, Queen Lerato, again. And we are now going to migrate over to our, oh mercy, why is this over here? Wrong place. We are going to migrate over to our tree. All right, our updates. Beautiful. It's at the right place now. All right, so updates. Just to let us know that there are and there will be, there are and there will be many fraudulent things, fraudulent emails, fraudulent WhatsApp, fraudulent Facebook, fraudulent Telegram, fraudulent Instagram, fraudulent everything that is now floating your way and my way and on passive way, because that's just how it is. And that is why we need to come to Deep Dive on Tuesday when First Lady Queen Dr. Benny educate us on cyber security. Because here is Redford getting an email that says, "Oh, founders, crucial. Hi, oh, founders, get your funds back." What funds? What funds? Click here. And people clicking on it. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Let us be wise. Let us be wise. And wisdom only comes from God. Let us be wise in whatever we are doing, because there is no way I would click on this. Because nothing, first of all, will be coming from our founders. Everything is on passive. On passive, support at onpassive.com is the legal, official email of OnPassive. That's number one. Regards, all founders, div team. I don't even know what that div means. Must have, development team. I don't even know. Anyway, this, I mean, Goose Mender, I guess, want to do his due diligence and send a message to Ash Mufare. And Ash Mufare, of course, said, no, they don't have a clue of what that is. People, let us be vigilant. because a lot this is just the beginning of fraudulent messages, whether text or WhatsApp or whatever media that people are going to use. We are going to be flooded with these kind of things. If it doesn't come from Ash Mufare, please to ignore it. If, in other words, if Ash Mufare never say, well, something is going to come from all founders, click on it. Okay? If Ash Mufare didn't say that, please, people, let us ignore it. I am trying my very best. You notice I'm stressing on it because people are calling me and other persons and crying on our shoulders when they mess up. So let us please be vigilant. If Ash Mufare didn't say it, if you didn't get a directive in some webinar with Ash Mufare that says certain things, especially when it comes on to money, please do not click on it. Please. You notice I'm spending. I'm sorry. Michael Williams. I have to stress. Go ahead, Queen Kanga.
I'm saying that you are absolutely right. That is correct. Do not click on it. If you receive a phone call inviting you to a meeting, do not accept it, because that I received that personally. Calling a call and presenting themselves as Brother Gosminda, and then inviting me for a meeting that is supposedly to be in the evening and posting a link. Please don't receive the phone call, or if you happen to pick up the phone call, do not respond, because like Dr. Derek has emphasized, it is not from our CEO, because we know our official channel is only from either the email or we get it during updates. Those two. If not, nothing more. Thank you, Dr. Derek.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Queen Kanla. And we shall continue. Go ahead.
We lost your screen share, Dr. Derek.
Why did you do that?
You know who did it?
Okay. Sorry about that. Yes, that was a little bit too heavy duty. Okay. But you're hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. All right. Let me try again. All right. Are you seeing it now? Seeing it now, Queen Kanda? Are you seeing it now, Queen Kanda?
Not all day. Yep.
Okay.
All good now.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Dr. D. Our CEO on February the 21st, he says, tentatively, we are on track for the new release of OConnect to go live. Everything is stabilized, all features debugged and ready for the masses.
teams have implemented a few AI features: virtual background, translation, and zero lag.
Of course, this will help the deaf community. And there is a universal one that most people understand. There is a good progress for the sign language feature. A department in UK, the United Kingdom, is working assiduously on this translation for sign language.
Something coming so valuable for all academy or teaching, business, lawyers, etc. O Connect has a new feature called O Share.
Nice.
Documents can be immediately shared through the software. That is amazing. Several new positions have been filled to provide so much more value to our customers, and their PhDs, inventors, etc.
Mercy. We have had a couple of rough weeks, losing great partners, losing great partners, and sickness affecting founders, technicians, etc. We have been certified by a few major companies like Cisco, big name, CompTIA, big name,
Yes.
and 3 others pending. And many of you will recognize and know how powerful it means to us. We already have the ICANN accreditation.
Oh yes, that means a lot. There has been a major breakthrough with blockchain technology, and the company is eager to share and explain.
From the COO, Kamal himself, Mohammed Kamal, video event shared on the World Police Summit, March 5 to 7, and that is coming up in a couple of weeks. And ONPASSIVE is the host. My goodness. Queen Kanda,
Yes.
ONPASSIVE
Yes.
is the host. Hold on. I said ONPASSIVE is the host
Yes, you
of this, with Dubai Police and other international departments. ONPASSIVE has chosen to, I'm telling you, ONPASSIVE has chosen to be the most accomplished to handle this event. Oh my goodness, I don't hear no clapping. I don't see no excitement in a Queen Kangla. The people are dead. Oh my goodness. It look like it's only when people start to get some money, then the hands will, mouse, because this is awesome. Awesome.
more and more partnerships on our side.
Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Media department to handle this event. Dr. D, let me read it again.
Yes.
Partnerships are on our side. Major vetting and scrutiny was done to qualify ONPASSIVE's media department to handle this event. This is a very big accomplishment to stand out among so many global competitors. If I were physical, I would stand up and
You see, Queen Kanda, we don't understand how these partnership work, It's a lot of vetting and making sure that the company is legit But my cousin and my great grandmother, uncle, nephew is saying ONPASSIVE is not legit. But this company that vet and ensure that this company is legit and good to go, anyway, that is another day's presentation. Dubai Police has invited all police departments around the world for this summit. So all the police department, even your little police department in your neck of the woods, has been invited by the Dubai Police to this summit. This is a very big event. Mr. Kamal and Dr. Susan has a meeting with many of the officers of the police department. The United Arab Emirates Dubai Police chose us, chose ONPASSIVE, chose ONPASSIVE.
Yes.
And want to know how they can serve us. They selected us because they have seen our work and the direction we are heading. This is a big deal. More details.
Indeed. Yes.
More details to come. Let me just read this little part and you got with that big part there. This shows how credible ONPASSIVE is. But let me say that again. This shows how credible. So my little cousin, nephew, sister, son is saying ONPASSIVE is not credible. And him don't even have two nickel to rub together. And these big corporation, big company is saying that ONPASSIVE is credible. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Queen Kanda, I have a friend that when I introduced him to ONPASSIVE, and then I was telling him that ONPASSIVE have 2 floors. And there was a 2 office. I said 2 floors. We bought 2 floors. He said to me, because he's involved, he's one of the management in this big tech company also. And they have been trying, listen to this, Queen Kanda, they have been trying from 2015 to get a little office in the Burj Khalifa. 2015, their company has been, long before there was no ONPASSIVE. 2015, his company has been trying and trying and trying and trying to get a little office in the Burj Khalifa. And we have 2 floors. Lot of vetting.
Exactly. And we've made it successively. All the naysayers, I even had a friend and a colleague who went online Googling and searching and looking for the credibility. I said, go and look very well. When you come back, then we can talk. Here is an addition, just another layer of credibility. Let the naysayers see it. Mr. Ash, in 1987, he was introduced to an old Macintosh computer in Cairo, Egypt. It was overwhelming to him, and he had a desire to know some of what these people know, the manufacturer or the inventors. He was fascinated, and it blew his mind away. That this was the industry for him. Talking about dreams at such an age, he knew it right away.
And some of these IT instructors from 30 years ago, the same IT instructors from 30 years ago, Cairo, Egypt, are now with ONPASSIVE. One of the PhDs is heading a new department with ONPASSIVE. This professor has many degrees, taught in many areas. He has built a group of over 4,000 people. This must be Michael Williams' aim. people in the field for collaboration. My goodness, only Michael Williams, me know, have 4,000 people that him can, Anyway, and feel for collaboration. And some are already being attracted to ONPASSIVE. Oh, hallelujah, mercy.
Amen. Final words from our CEO, Mr. Ash. I am out. Where are we? Where are you?
Where we are. And so therefore, gentle people, you and I need to buckle up. Buckle up! Because
this is how we do it. This is how we do it.
because we are
7 years.
wonderful. Thank you very much. That was the update.
Wow. Was awesome. Oh my goodness. Much Queen Kanda. Mama Edith, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Let me just suggest, if we're not speaking, please mute yourself so the recording can go seamlessly. Thank you so much, team updates. We really appreciate that. That was so animating. Now, the body language makes me remember what you were saying, even if I did not make notes about it. But wow, that was awesome. That professor, thank you so much. Very well said, very well stated and presented. Now we're moving to the other topic of the day. Are you ready to hear about the Fireside talk? And who is this wonderful person? Brother, this is the first of several series that we think we're going to do with him. And he is ready. He is ready. We know who he is. He has, we chose to have this informal conversation with him because we feel that he is the right person for us to have in our forum for that. Very unique, a wonderful brother, a father, an awesome father of 3 children, married to their mother, from Jamaica but living in Canada with his family. And we know that he has a background, his degree is in math. But besides that, he also studied religion, business, math for commerce, and financial planning. Basically, Brother Michael is a numbers person. Did you hear me? He is a numbers person. He knows how to work it out and bring things together. And we're going to start this fire talk. I'm going to be working. I have a co-moderator for this segment. He's the one you heard talk about the mindset. I want her to welcome and start by saying something grace your fireside talk with our guest of honor. But before that, I will call on him to speak and then Sister Lerato. So, Brother Michael, you're welcome. We are so honored to have you today, and we're glad that you accepted to do this with our wonderful dream team today.
Thank you so much, Debbie. It's always a pleasure to be here with you all. Fireside chat. So I guess we'll work through it together. But it's always exciting to talk about ONPASSIVE people. This is just a place to be. It really is. And I'm not quite sure what we're gonna get into, but I'm here and I'm excited to be here because I'm excited to be in ONPASSIVE. I received an email this morning from someone who I've heard from this person in 3 years. February 3rd, 2021 to be exact, was the last time they reached out. And so they sent a message asking, "Oh, now how are you doing? Are you still with ONPASSIVE? Something about ONPASSIVE is a scam. What do you feel about this? Don't worry, it'll stay between us." I was like, what? Right? So of course, I gave a nice long reply. People are crazy. That's just the bottom line. There's some crazy people out there. There will always be crazy people. Some folks will get rich, some will get wealthy. Um, and yet you're always going to have poor people because they usually come with a poor mindset, and they can't see anything beyond a paycheck. And so we need to understand this. We need to understand that in ONPASSIVE, we're not building a paycheck. Okay, and I think this is where people go wrong, because they're used to a paycheck. If you have a job, so you're used to a paycheck. Okay? Someone who has a business or is building a business, that's a totally different league of folks. Right? ONPASSIVE is actually doing something that no other company that you've been with, none, zero, none, has ever.
Brother Michael,
Yes?
you're actually answering one of the questions that I was going to ask you.
I am?
Yes, we're in the same spirit. Because, by the way, how are you, sir?
I am well.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you. So you were surprised by the title, right? The Fire Chat.
I'm not surprised by it. I actually welcome it.
Yeah.
I like that we can be free, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Being restricted by a specific topic, or it's good to be free, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted us to just sit and have a chat. And since you're already in the spirit, in the flow, we're just gonna carry on from what you're gonna say. I'm just gonna ask you this question, then you can expatiate, because you were actually starting to answer this question, right? I was gonna ask you to say, you're a very successful businessman. You built businesses, and you're a math person, numbers person. I'm not a numbers person, so it's good to know you. Now I know that if I'm struggling with numbers, this is me on the phone. Help. It's good to know. So I was gonna ask you. I mean, you built. You know what it takes to build a business, because you've built. You're successful in yourself. So I was gonna ask you. Like you said, people are people. That's what I'm gonna say. People are people, and you still have people in ONPASSIVE here who are questioning a lot of things. Some people still don't understand what it takes to build a business. Like you said, that there's somebody sent you a thing, "Oh, are you still in ONPASSIVE?" And there are people who are still asking me to say, "Oh, why is it taking so long?" I'm thinking, guys, are you actually following and seeing the scale of what ONPASSIVE is doing? How are you even asking this? Are we actually looking at the same thing? So the question is, in your perspective, when you're looking at ONPASSIVE and what it's building, right? And where we are now, right? And you know what it takes to build a business that is sustainable. What can you say about ONPASSIVE, where we are now, with all this achievements, with all the tops that we are reaching, with the how do I say, the method of how ONPASSIVE is going about what they're doing right now? What can you say about it, and what does it take to build something as huge as ONPASSIVE, and where we are now? What do you think it takes to do that?
In one word, perseverance.
Exactly.
In one word. But it goes to what I'm saying about business versus paycheck, right? I mean, a lot of people come to ONPASSIVE because that is exactly what they're looking for. They're looking for a paycheck, and so they're confusing a business versus a job. A job gives you a paycheck. A business is going to give you life, and there's a difference. You want life, right? You want to have something that's sustainable, right? You want to have something that is long term. People get fired from their jobs all the time, right? So a paycheck is not something that people should really depend on, because we've seen so many examples, right? You can look at your siblings, your parents' parents, friends or colleagues, right? There's so many examples of people who have a job or just getting a paycheck, and they're usually living from one paycheck to the next because when that paycheck comes in, it's done before it even comes in, right? And then so you're waiting for that next one to come, and so on, and all of a sudden you lose that. It's gone. Now what do? Right? You're scrambling. We've seen people become bankrupt, people losing their homes, etc. Marriages break, all these things that come with that. Right? So what OnPassive is doing is OnPassive is creating a business for you because they don't want to give you just a paycheck, right? Because it's not lasting. But if they can give you a business and it's something that you want to have for the rest of your life, and then that also transcends your life, it goes beyond your life, right? Because it's something that can carry on long after you're gone. And to me, that is far more valuable than a paycheck. So if we understand that, then we don't get these questions of, why is it taking so long? Oh, it's not real. Oh, why are they holding back? And why they won't release this? And why? You don't understand because it's a business, right? And so it takes perseverance. It takes our CEO, he's not trying to be well liked. Like that's not his focus, right? But whether we like him or not, right, we have to respect him. We have to respect the fact that this man is willing to do it or die. We have to respect the fact that he's willing to go through the good, bad, and ugliness that comes with building a business, and especially one of this magnitude, right? So when we look and see what OnPassive is doing, especially at this stage, people should have these types of questions because we've seen so much already. It's not like you're just coming in now and you're like, okay, what? No, we were there when there wasn't anything, when there wasn't a website, when there wasn't an office, right? And we start to see these things play out right before our eyes. This is part of the transparency goal, right? So we're seeing this business being built from the ground up, from scratch. We're seeing everything. We're seeing all the team that it takes. We're still bringing on people, right? As was just brought to us in the update, right? And not just any individual, but great people are coming in, aligning themselves with OnPassive. We see this and we're still wondering, oh, is it real? Like, how does that make sense, right? We should be able to look at all that we've seen from the multiple offices in the various places, right? From the free products that we currently have, from the evolution of O Connect. Remember when we first got O Connect, right? Think back then and then look at where we are with O Connect today. It hasn't been long, folks. We're not talking years, right? Look where we are today, and now we're on the verge of getting a next version, an updated version. Like we have to use our mind, use our brain, and think for ourselves. Don't let other people think for you. Look at everything that you see, and then you should be able to connect the dots yourself. This company's taking you somewhere, right? It's taking you somewhere that you would not be able to go by yourself, somewhere that you would not be able to go with any other company because there isn't any like OnPassive. There just isn't. This is not lip service, folks. This is facts. This is reality. This is what we're presented with. This is what you really want. You don't know what you want. You think you want just a paycheck. That's not what you want. Right? Chances are you already have a job and you have a paycheck, and that's not working out for you, is it? Right? You need something more than that. And this company is providing exactly that. And you don't have to build it. That's the beauty about it. I'm getting a Bugatti, and I don't have to pay what a Bugatti actually costs to get it, right? I don't have to create it, build it. You understand? And somebody says, here's the keys. They're giving you the keys to a Bugatti. That's what OnPassive is. And a lot of us can't understand it because we've never experienced it before. That's why we don't understand it. That's why we don't get it. But folks, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of hours, right? It takes a lot of knowledge, right? It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot to be able to come after you said that, oh, you know what, we're going to have this at this time, it takes a lot to be able to come after that and to say, well, you know, we're not there yet. We still have more to go. It takes a lot. Think about it. What would you do if you're in that position? A lot of people just pack up and run. A lot of people just say, you know what, don't need this. Don't need the headaches that come with this. Don't need people, questioning my judgment. Don't need people putting me down. Don't need all of that stuff. But you see, folks, as was said earlier about love, that's love. Love is about seeing the happiness in other people, not just in yourself, but in other people. That's what love is, right? Love is when you're dedicated to something, folks, and no matter what, comes what may, you're gonna go through. You're gonna continue. The storm comes, doesn't matter. Tsunami comes, it doesn't matter. Okay, the winds are blowing, doesn't matter. You're still pushing ahead, right? Snow doesn't matter. You are pushing, and that's what our CEO and the entire staff of ONPASSIVE is doing. Hey, people come and go. People may decide to quit. Some may get fired, whatever the case may be. Right? These nasty emails that people are sending out trying to, bottom line is this company is doing everything possible to make sure you have the future that you deserve.
Wow, my brother. I mean, it's a mouthful. What you said, and especially, you know what hit me is when you said that, the paycheck mentality. Just being stuck there, not being able to see beyond the paycheck, not being able to see beyond, just that red race. Get money, spend it, wait for another one. And that's how people are approaching ONPASSIVE, not understanding that it's business. A business is being built for you. It's not about a paycheck. I need people to internalize this and sit with it because it needs to sink in. It needs to sink in. Like my brother, you hit it. You hit it on, like, it's so clear, right? If you understand that the business is being built, then those questions won't even come because you will understand that it's beyond a paycheck. It's way beyond a paycheck. Thank you so much for saying that because I wish we can just put it on repeat so that it can just resonate. So that we would really, I want it to just be on repeat so that it will resonate. And it's all about mindset. It's all about mindset. We need to take ourselves out of, it's almost like, there's that experiment that they did where they had fleas in a cup. They were trying to go up and get out of the glass container that they put them in. And then when the scientists actually closed the container and kept them there for a couple of weeks, when he opened that thing, they were not flying out. And generations, funny enough, it's not only those ones that were in there that didn't come out. Even the generations after that learned that it's not okay to fly out or to come out. None of them came. They stayed in that container, even when it was open. So mindset is very, 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 very important. We need to work on ourselves and to understand. My brother just said right now that it takes a lot to build this, but when it's being built and when it's working for us, then it is working. It is working and it's beyond us. So thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much for saying that. And the second question is, we see now we're being endorsed by these big companies. It's just, for me, it's like a party in my heart, in my spirit. And I'm really, 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 really excited. So I want to know from you, what is exciting? I mean, like you said, we reached so many milestones, so many exciting things that we're seeing, the build up to even more of what we're going to be, and, reaching for even this year. But I want to know your excitement right now. After the update team spoke and said all these wonderful things, I want to know your excitement right now about what ONPASSIVE is doing.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not a fake person, right? So, I tell it as I see it, right? And I try to, be the same person all the time, right? Because I was just telling my daughter just a while ago, because, today's my laundry day, okay? So my eldest is home, she's home for the week, and so I said to her, okay, this is what's happening. And so she went in there, and was folding the clothes. And I came out and I was like, what is this? How you fold the clothes? I said, if I had the time, I would literally refold them. That's how anal I am. She goes, oh, I said, it's not that deep. So, no, I mean, you want to strive for perfection in everything you do, even if it means folding the clothes. Okay? Because then you also strive for perfection in your studies, and we said a little quick chat, and then I came back inside here, right? But I'm saying all that to say that for me, my excitement from not day one, but I'll say in the first 6 months, right? Maybe about 6 months in, my excitement then has been pretty much the same excitement to until today. Right. So when stuff comes and I see that more partnerships and being accredited and all these things, that just serves as validation for what I already knew or what I already believe. Right. It doesn't take my excitement up to another level, because I'm not sure if I can get any more excited than I am, because I am that much excited in this company. Why? Why is that? Because for me, it's always been about how can we put something together that's going to actually help people by creating and doing the work, like the entire sales process. How can we automate all of that? That's always been my thing. Right? Not just on passive, spiritual on passive. Always been, because I've been in businesses, I've seen people struggling, trying to build a business, and no matter what you do, you teach them, you train them, they still can't do it. I've come to the conclusion that you have to be able to do it for them, or create a mechanism that does it for them, and that's the only way they want to succeed. Because if we're all truthful, I'm sure you've probably taken some courses, you probably got some training from some gurus or whomever, whatever, right? And you still didn't get the success that you were looking for in that particular business. So then what is the issue, right? And the issue is you really have to do it for them, or provide the mechanism that will do it for them. And that's what ONPASSIVE is about. And that's what gets me excited. So all these other things that come along, it's just adding more value, more. And it's the core of ONPASSIVE is what people should get. Because if more doesn't come, then it's like, oh, well, my excitement level's not up. But if you're excited about the base, the foundation, if you're excited about the foundation, and it doesn't really matter what else comes, because the foundation is enough. The foundation is what we all need to get us to our desired income goals that we're all looking for. It's all about the foundation. It's all about what is at the core of ONPASSIVE, not the bells and whistles. Right? So that's why for me personally, and again, it's my opinion. Okay. So if that's not your opinion, speaking to everyone, that's fine, right? Some people love the bells and whistles and all the fancy stuff. But for me, it's all about the foundation. What is at the core of that business that's going to get people to where they're trying to get to? What is at the core of that business that's going to solve their issue, their problem, that's going to provide the solution that they need? And so it's core is what I look at. And that's what I love from them. That continues because I still see it. It's there. The core has not changed. So some things may have, but not the core, not the foundation, not what ONPASSIVE is about. That hasn't. And we're only getting better and better and better. And that's what people have to be excited about.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for saying it. I think you were in my mind, because some of the questions that I was going to ask you actually answered them, right? You spoke about, we were looking for you. The model of ONPASSIVE is to make sure that everybody prospers. And you spoke about the ONPASSIVE building a business for us, because even if you teach some people how to do business or how to sell, I mean, I know people who can sell water in the desert, okay? They're not simply gifted in that way. They don't know how to sell, right? And there are people who will sell you water close to the river. They will still sell you water, okay? Right? And there are people, of course, who had anxiety, especially when everything is starting to come up now. They're very scared that, okay, oh my God, how am I going to be able to, to get more? How am I going to be able to build this? Especially people who are still not computer savvy, or who still don't understand how the not really, they don't really understand how it's going to work, the AI and everything. They have an idea, but they still don't completely grasp the concept of what we're doing. And my question was going to be, you answered it partly, but my question was going to, how do you talk to those people, especially, people in a certain generation who now they're trying to get themselves into, all this technology that we have, and they want to, understand what to do and how to succeed in an unpassive. And even though the business is built for us, but just to calm their minds and their anxiety to say, oh, they don't have to just go on door to knock at someone to actually succeed in the business. The business is there for them to succeed. So what can you tell these people? How can you encourage them?
Okay, so we know that not everyone that goes through high school actually graduates. Okay, not everyone that goes to university actually graduates. Right? And everybody that goes to medical school actually comes out as a doctor. Okay, like that's life, folks. Right? We have to understand that. Okay, not everybody that joins the business is going to become successful. That is life. Okay, ONPASSIVE says that we can change that, right? Because we can. Now, if somebody went to university, let's mechanical engineer, okay, you're studying mechanical engineering. Now, what if the professor was writing all the exams for that person? Do you think that person would graduate? Absolutely, they would. But if that person is dependent upon themselves and they can't grasp the context, they can't understand, the language, the engineering language, understand thermodynamics and all this fancy stuff, and they're just not grasping it. They suck at physics, but they thought they were good enough when they're in high school, but they get into university now and realize, well, this is a different level of physics. Calculus is just not the same as the calculus they took in high school, right? As an example, right? So if the professor was doing it for them, you teach them because the professor is teaching everybody. But if the professor was actually doing it for them, guess what? They would come out as an engineer. But the problem with that is that when now they go get a job, well, if you don't understand the work and you can't do the work, how in the world do you expect to go out there, and say you're creating something, you're building something? It wouldn't make sense. You'd be killing people. You understand? Can't imagine a civil engineer graduated as a piece of paper, but they go now to go build a bridge, right? And it wouldn't be a good job. Their lives would be lost, right? So here at ONPASSIVE, the company is saying, okay, we get it, that people have the desire. Right? I mean, people are lazy or don't want to do anything. They have the desire. Okay, a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people. I would say most people have the desire to do something if they knew what to do and how to do it, all of that. Right? The reality, as you stated, is that they don't have the ability. They don't have the know-how. Right? So the company says, okay, can we automate the entire process? When we talk about CAPMO, how can we help these individuals that, you know what, you have the option of being able to do what you can, whether it's a little, whether it's a lot. Some people are marketers, so they can go market, like you said. Some people can sell, right? Most people can't. Okay, so how do we help the ones who can't? Okay, we help the ones who can't by creating a system that will take an individual through that sales process. Meaning from inception, from where they've actually been exposed to the business, right, to the point where you actually close the sale without you physically closing the sale. So if ONPASSIVE can put all that together, then absolutely. Our problem is that because we don't see it lay out like that. Okay? We don't see it. We say, okay, well, we're here. We have to go buy, those who purchase O Connect. Okay, my account is activated, but I still don't see that automation. I still don't see how, sales are being generated for me, etc. Because we have to understand where we are in the process. It's not a closed loop as yet. It's not a complete process as yet. Okay. Do you have your own personal domain name? Did you buy that from ONPASSIVE? No, that's not being made available to you as yet. Are you able to get targeted traffic from? No, that's not being, you understand? So you don't have that complete package as yet. So that's why people are having difficulty to see it. And that's what separates those who are visionaries, right, from others. Not everybody will be able to see it. You have to physically see it in front of them in order for them to be able to say, okay, yeah, I get it now. Whereas other people can look beyond their physical sight. right? They can look beyond that and they can see where we're going, right? So for all those people who may not be tech savvy and then all of this stuff, and I don't know how I'm going to do this, I'm going to make sales, I'm going to get customers, right? They have nothing to worry about because the system is being designed so that you can, if you wanted to do something, you can just say, here, just take a link and just put a link in front of someone. And that is something that all of us can do. If we had, getrichnow.com as an example, okay, that's your, so GetRichNow is your domain name, okay, that's your website, getrichnow.com, okay, you're able to now take that and just put that in front of someone. All of us can do that, right? All of us can say, okay, you know what? I don't want to go to no family and friends. Okay, so just buy some targeted traffic. All of us can do that. We can spend. We know how to buy. We know how to shop. Okay, so we can buy that targeted traffic. That targeted traffic is now directed to your domain or your website. Okay, and then that's it. Like, because that's all that needs to be done. It's nothing where you're gonna have to, explain anything or go door to door and knock on people. None of that stuff. It's just a matter of taking visitors, people, individuals, and you need to find a way to put them in front of what you're offering, which is your website. You put them there, the information is there, and the system takes over. Right? So from you can do that, which is to log in, purchase targeted traffic, okay? And you're gonna basically tell the traffic where it's supposed to go. Okay, how do you do that? You just provide a link. You say, hey, ONPASSIVE targeted traffic people, this is the link, this is my domain name, this is my website, that's where you want you to send the traffic. That's it, done and finished. Every single person can do that. Everyone can do that. There's nothing scientific about it, there's nothing technical about it, none of that. All of us can take a simple website, Get Rich Now or Retired Now or whatever it's called, johnjames.com, whatever. Everyone will be able to say, be able to put that in front of people, and your job is done. It's as simple as that. Do that day in, day out, all night long, however you want to do it. It is simple, folks. The technology is going to do all the work. The software behind the scenes is doing all the work for us. It is that simple. It's not complicated. Okay, it's been done before as far as yes, meaning to buy targeted traffic and direct it to a particular website to make sales. That's been done before. People spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars doing just that, and they're making money on a full-time basis on the internet. Okay, so that can be done. The difference here is that ONPASSIVE is bringing everything that we need. One umbrella, single sign-on, one-stop shop, and you're good to go. The same way you don't need to know how your car works, okay? You just take the key and put it in and you go, or press a button and it goes. It's the same thing with ONPASSIVE. Everyone will be able to do just that.
I love talking to you because you simplify everything. Okay. Thank you for that answer. So, for those of us that were not sure if we're going to succeed, my brother broke it down so well and he simplified everything. There's no reason to fear. All of us here can do what he said we can do. All right. It's all about mindset. So let's just work on our mindset and know that everything is designed for us to succeed. All right. So my last question I'm going to ask you after Sister Debbie talks to you. I'm so happy because everything that I wanted to ask you, I think we were in the same wavelength. So you answered it, and I'm really, 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 really happy. So Sister Debbie, please take over.
Oh my goodness. Do I really think I want to take over? I should have gone first, but now I feel like I need to stay quiet. But I must say I really, really enjoyed that talk. Going back to the business part and of information technology. That was outstanding. Thank you both. Thank you, Brother Michael and Sister Lerato. You did the right thing, and those questions about the business and everything else was just awesome. I appreciate that. So, Brother Michael, I don't have too many questions for you. I realized from one of your webinars that I attended, you did state in it that in your weekly live that the mindset of ONPASSIVE it's mission and vision. And I was wondering if you could kindly elaborate for us what was the mission and vision of ONPASSIVE in 2018 when you just joined and where we currently are, compare it to where we currently are in 2024. Over to you, Brother Michael.
Sure. So, initially, the company, I would say, would have been like other companies, right? You just get a very simple business, that people will be able to, work. You provide all the traffic for them, and it was a much simpler version than what we have today. Would people have made money with it? Absolutely, they would have made money. But I don't think that we would be able to uplift humanity to the extent of where we are now. I think with what the company has created, what they're putting together, is far greater to reinvent the internet, to be able to create a space where anyone who has a business can come and save money, save time, to be able to create Chatmo, we all know what that is, to be able to create that in this day and age. It's night and day that all these partnerships, all of that was not in the mission or vision back then in 2018. To have the offices that we have today, all of that wasn't there. The branding campaign on passive became a lot bigger because our CEO realized that in order to truly have a significant impact on the world, not just on a few people, but on the world, on the globe, the 8 billion people that's on this planet, then we have to do more. And so the company set out to do just that. Now, we also have to bear in mind, though, remember, there was like 2 years of COVID, right? 2020 and 2021. So a lot of times we think that, oh my gosh, it's been, 5 years, 6 years. But there were things in between. There were setbacks that came our way. There were changes that the company had to undergo. There were damage control that the company had to do based upon some of us founders, and what we put out there, etc. So there's been a lot. So it's not all just been development. There's been a lot of other, distraction, if you wish, that the company had to go through, to get where we are today. But when we look and see everything now, when we look and see this totality, we can clearly see how it's possible, how it's a realistic possibility for ONPASSIVE to actually uplift the globe, right? We're able to see that doesn't matter where you are in the world, ONPASSIVE will be able to reach you, right? Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to participate in ONPASSIVE. You'll be able to benefit from what ONPASSIVE has to offer, and that really is to give people life. Too many people are just existing. I've said this before, probably many times, but it's true, right? I don't believe that we're put on this planet. Think of how complex the human being is, right? Think of how complex we are, right? We're not a simple organism, right? I don't believe that we're just put here, just to kind of go through the motions and okay, I was born, I lived a few years, then I died, and that was it. Like no, like there's more to life than that. And that's what I mean when I say that, most people just existed. They just go through, they never really accomplish anything in life. There was no significant impact they had on anyone. They pass away, no one remembers them. But no, we are here to make a difference. We are here, to exhibit love, Right? Let love flow through our very action. Not just our words, but people should be able to see love written all over you without you even uttering one word, right? People be able to see love being exhibited by you without you knowing that people are watching you. You know what I mean? So this company has a massive mission as far as putting people in a position where they can help themselves and at the same token be able to help others along the way. That's what OnPassive is doing because that's how you're truly going to reach 8 billion people on this planet. It can't just be, well, let me just help, a few 100 million. No, we can do much better than that. And so if you empower people, if you put people in the right mindset, because this is what OnPassive is also, folks. It's not just about money. There's a growth aspect in your personal life that's related to if people stop to think, and realize all the life lessons that they've learned just by being in OnPassive, people will be able to come out having better relationships, right? Be able to add more value, to their existing relationship, the new relationships that have been forged. So it's a lot more than just the monetary aspect, of life. There is that family, friends, relationship side of things where people are actually going through personal growth and development by being in OnPassive, learning to be patient. Right, is something that I think a lot of people are learning probably for the first time to this extent, anyways, with it OnPassive. So we can clearly see where OnPassive was at the very beginning, a very small, lofty idea, yes, but still on a small stage. Whereas as we've seen the development over the years, being just the look at the Burj Khalifa light shows, just look at all the branding that's going on, throughout Dubai. That's massive, folks. People confuse advertising with marketing. They're not the same thing. Okay, marketing is a process. Advertising is an event, right? Two different things. So when we see the marketing that the company has been doing, right, and there's more to come. So it's much bigger. It's almost like night and day. It's like it's two different companies. What we had back in 2018 versus what we have now in 2024, completely different. If back in 2018 we were going to be a billion strong company, then what we have now is a 5 billion plus strong company. Talking about people that are not talking about dollar value. Okay, it's leaps and bounds from a different standpoint where we started versus where we are now. People should be excited about where we are now because maybe you didn't get it back in the beginning because there wasn't much for you to see. But over the years, you've seen so much, so you should get it. You should understand that no, this is not your regular company. This is not something that I've been involved in before. So therefore, don't look at it like something that you were involved in before. Don't look at it that way, because then you're gonna have the wrong view of what OnPassive is. Right? Get rid of all of that, wipe the slate clean, and just look at OnPassive for what it is, and don't compare it to what you're used to. Because what you were used to, you didn't have any results with that, any positive results. Okay? So if OnPassive is what you were used to, then guess what? You're not going to have any positive results with OnPassive either. Okay? Which is not the case. Right? So you can't look at it the same way. So take those lenses off, throw them away, get some new lens, big lenses for that matter, right? And look at OnPassive and you truly see that the mission, the vision is way bigger than what it was. And not because it's bigger, don't mean that we won't accomplish it. It's a done deal, folks. It really is, right? But time has to come, okay? Time has to pass, right? For everything to be put together, and then you'll be able to see it. And don't worry, we're not talking about another year, 2 years. No, you'll see all that this year. There's no doubt.
Wow, that's awesome.
Michael, thank you so much. And I can tell you, yes, the hurdles COVID period until now, I can see the personal growth for all the unprecedented who are close to me. And I can tell the uplifting of humanity and everything that you just mentioned from 2018 to 24, how a lot has transitioned from that era to where we are. And I'm so grateful that you actually clarified it for me. Very much appreciated because it's not just for me, but those who are listening, especially they, they can attest that they've grown in so many ways. And that is a good thing because if we did not get together and if we did not have that love, which our sister stated in her mindset, that love is also what is driving us to where we are and where we're going. Because the CEO also emphasizes that each time he speaks to us. Thank you very much. And I know so many people that are eager to raise their questions. I have just one quick one for you, and I'll pass it over for any person who has an additional talk for you today. So in the updates, they talked about the professor who was CEO's professor in 1987 and is now in ONPASSIVE. I'm assuming that is Dr. Amen, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So with him joining the team as a chief of artificial intelligence consultant with over 40 years experience, what should we look forward to from him joining us? Over to you, Mike.
In one word, greatness, right? This is the thing about ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE goes out there to secure the best, right? Like if you want the best, then you surround yourself with the best. And this is what I mean when I said earlier about our CEO, not looking to be well liked, right? Versus being respected, right? If you are an individual who focus on being well liked, you want to be liked by everybody, right? What tends to happen is that you have a lot of weak people around you, weak-minded, people who are not doers, okay? People who are not active. That's what you tend to have around you. If your focus is more on being, well respected, then you end up with doers, strong-minded individuals around you, and that's what we see in ONPASSIVE. Right? We see that there's a lot of strong individuals when we look at the staff, right? Look at old media, when we look at, engineer Muhammad Kamal, you know, a lot isn't said about him, but trust me, like he's the best of the best, right? When we look at some of the other Muhammads, Dr. Susan in our media, ONPASSIVE is surrounded, by the best. We have the best talent. There's no doubt about that. And that's why we are getting all these partnerships because they're looking in and saying, okay, who's working with this one? They're looking. They're not just coming in just for coming in sake. They're not just aligning themselves with ONPASSIVE for no good reason. There is a good reason why they're aligning themselves when they see the campaigns that the company is ongoing. Like folks, it doesn't get any better than this. It really doesn't. And so when we see this gentleman with so much experience, right, and he's willing to say, you know what, because his name commands respect. For him to put his name in the ring with ONPASSIVE, that's credibility, folks. People don't go 20, 30, 40 years and build up a reputation for themselves and then just come and just throw it all away by jumping in some scam thing. Nobody does that. Okay, at least not anyone in their right mind. Okay, that person will be under some serious influence. Okay, for that to happen. So for him to come at this stage of his career to say, yeah, I want to align myself with ONPASSIVE because I believe in what ONPASSIVE is doing. I see how ONPASSIVE can impact the globe. all these things to me as an individual that's part of ONPASSIVE, as a early bird founding member, you look at it and it's just like, wow, you know, again, confirmation of what you should already know, right? Just to let folks, the police, right? And not to belabor that, but just the fact that, okay, here's the world police and they want ONPASSIVE to be part of what they're doing, and that says something, folks. Okay, this is not your corrupted local police, department where you may live. Okay, we're talking on a world stage. Okay, so when you see that, right, that speaks to the security of the company. But we just keep judging ONPASSIVE by dollars and cents. That's the problem. We're judging the company by dollars and cents. We're judging the company, well, I haven't got paid yet, so therefore it must be a scam. What did the company scam you on? Like what? $97? Like really? Come on now. Right? We have to think. This company is not saying, hey, pay us $97 every month, every month, every month. Pay us $97 every year, every year, every year. No. Right? If we look and see what this company is actually doing, right? You paid for a product, you got the product, and the company keep extending it, extending it, extending it. And people have a problem with that. Why you keep extending it? Really? So you'd rather pay, right, than it being extended? Like, what would you rather? So if people are using their common sense, if people are using what God has given them up here, they'll see exactly what I see. They'll see what others see. And that is a company that is second to none. That is a company that is saying that, you know what, we will continue to attract the best of the best because we are the best. And because we are the best, it simply means that you are also the best. By association, that's who you are. Okay? If you're in a scam company, okay, and you know it is, and you continue to be with that company, then by extension, you are a scammer also. Okay? But if you're in something that is a scam and you recognize it and you walk away from it, then someone can't say that you're a scammer. No, because you now shun it. You walked away from it. Okay? But we've seen ONPASSIVE a company that isn't out there in the public as far as selling products, all these things, and revenue coming in and all. It's not a going concern, right? And yet, all these great individuals, get what we would consider great individuals, all these great organizations, entities, etc., wants to partner with us and are partnering with us. That speaks for itself, folks. It does. Right? So people just need to stop, breathe, relax, wake up, and see what's really in front of them. Because if you don't see it, you're limiting your own success, right? You're dimming, your light, and there's no need for that. This company hasn't done anything that is wrong, right? Okay, has it made mistakes? Sure, I'm sure the company's made mistakes, but they haven't done anything wrong, right? And so we should appreciate that, and we should be grateful for our CEO and the staff and for everyone that is looking out for our best interest, because that's what is at the forefront of the company's mind, right? The company wants everything to be flowing and running as it should, but sometimes you have hiccups, sometimes you have obstacles, right? But you don't back down. You crush right through them, okay? And ONPASSIVE has done that in the past, and they'll continue to do that. And so we will get to where we need to. So yeah, I applaud our CEO and the rest of the team for continuing to attract the best of the best.
Wow, that is awesome. Always attracting the best of the best. Creme de la creme. Couldn't go any better. And that is a very, very much welcomed question. And I will continue to thank you for all you do, not just to our team, but all the other things that you give us. You give up your time, morning, afternoon, evening, every time of the year, you're there. Trying to uplift people's spirits. We appreciate that. That is your integrity, that your honesty and integrity. You say you'll be there, you'll be there. We don't have many of you who do that, especially non-stop on a daily basis. We appreciate you and your knowledge. There's none compared to that, what you have and what you share with us. Thank you once more. At this stage, I'm going to call on our assistant Dr. Patience.
I have the last question, Sister Debbie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
I always proceed.
No, and actually, this last question is all about vanity, but I don't think it's vanity. It's just one of those things. I was going to ask you, Brother Michael, that, for me, when I brag about ONPASSIVE, the first thing is Burj Khalifa, right? And then the second thing, of course, is Obless and our CEO. So when you brag about ONPASSIVE, what's your brag? What do you brag about the most?
My brag is Camp Mall.
There you go. There you go. That's a good one.
My brag. Simply because it's the only company that's doing or will be doing that to people. The only thing here is that people need a break. People need a way out. People need help financially, and when I look at everything that's out there in the landscape, it's very difficult for people to sort through all the fluff that is out there and to find, things that are credible, things that are legitimate, things that will actually, give them their desired financial solution. So for me, that's the number one thing that stands out, and that I'm proud to let people know that, hey, you know what? You've been burnt before, you've lost money, you've been scammed. It doesn't matter. Right? Come here and you will find a home. You will find the one solution that is actually going to help you, rebuild, repair, all of them. What you've lost, you'll be able to recoup. ONPASSIVE will do all of that for you, because by design, right, not by chance, but by design, the intent is there, and it's going to come to fruition for so many people. Everyone who's in will win. All of us will not win the same. Okay, will not be the same. Okay, but we will win nevertheless, right? And to me, that's the most important thing. Too many people have joined so many businesses, and it's just failure after failure after failure after failure. And I said I've always thought that companies could be different. I join a company and they say, here's a replicated page, go. Okay, but the replicated page is not even a sales page, right? It's an information page. It's about here's the product, here's the company, here's the compensation. That I can't just send people there and sales are happening. It just doesn't work like that. So ONPASSIVE understands that, right? And so that's why the company has to, again, put together a process, a system that's going to help all of us, and that's where Channel comes in.
That's a really cool brag. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Debbie, take over. Thank you.
Thank you, my co-moderator. Thank you so much, Sister Lerato. Very much appreciate that bragging rights. Everyone has your bragging rights at home, right? When you have children, you brag about this one, and when that child is not, the next one comes, you brag about them in front of them. You don't let everybody know that. But that's how we do it. Thank you so much for such an honor doing this. And
Debbie, that's what I tell them. So you're my favorite. And when the next one comes, I said, oh, that's why you're my favorite. And when the next one, so they're all my favorite.
You see, so you end up making them believe that each of them is your favorite. Meanwhile, they didn't even know. They don't know until one day they start talking about it and then you realize. So anyway, we all have our bragging rights at home and otherwise. So I'm going to pass it to my sister, Dr. Patience, to say a few words, and then we'll close the YouTube and then go to the bigger questions and discussions with our brother. Over to you, Dr. Patience, and thank you for your patience too.
Oh, wow. Yes, we all use that trick. Every parent uses that trick. Don't tell the other one you're my favorite. Don't tell the other one you're my favorite. And then when they start discussing, they must say I was a favorite. Mom said I was a favorite. Everybody's a favorite. Wow. Brother Michael, as I said, I'm always happy when you come here, then we don't have to start getting more accounts. I actually started with affiliate and I had to tell myself, stop. Okay, you cannot save this well by yourself. But you have heard it, folks. You have heard it. And thank ladies for the great question. And one of the questions that David asked was the question I was going to ask. And there's no point in repeating it, right? Because you've said it. You have seen the caliber of people ONPASSIVE is bringing in, from the newest hire to all the partnership, to what our own media is doing, to what our marketing team is doing. Come on now. If this is not a legitimate company, we they put that money and all of their resources. If it's not a legitimate company, we hire people with such caliber, with so that resume. I'm like, wow, when I saw that resume. So we're in a sweet spot. I think not to make the YouTube to be too long, we'll continue our fire chat with our brother. We're opening it for you guys to ask questions. Then we'll close the YouTube so that we don't have it too long. The recording. So thank you all that joined us on YouTube. If you're a brand ambassador or affiliate, you can join us. The link is in the co-founder back office. You can join us in our Connect. And see you all next time. Then we'll continue our conversation with our brother Michael. Because I see one hand is already up and a lot of people have questions. And as Sister Debbie said, this will be a series. So we'll have fire chat 2, 3, 4 until he's tired. Okay? And then we can go and start talking on topics. But I think at this point where we are with our business, the way to utilize our brother is to really have this fire chat and we have this conversation and these questions we answered. And I think everybody now will live and know that we are in the right place. ONPASSIVE is not delayed, ONPASSIVE is on time. Okay? It is delayed in our eyes, but it's on time on both eyes. So thank you all for watching us from YouTube. Dr. Derek, if you can stop YouTube, let us know.